Get up, get up. Hey. Show that progress, let them see it working. Wrong or right, still learn from the play. Follow the rules, then we move our way. Put the work in. Late nights, early morning, still searching. Win or lose, don't throw it away. Study the move, then come back the next day. Alarm go off, gotta rise from the bed. Dreams don't move if they stay in your head. Feet hit the floor, mind on the mission. Small steps stack when you trust repetition. Some days green, some days red. Still gotta learn what the last move said. Can't skip rules just to chase that feeling. Strong foundation, put cracks in the ceiling. Show your work, let the progress talk. Step by step, let the whole thing walk. If you fall, get facts from the fall. Take that lesson and answer the call. No shame in being wrong. If you broke, no game. In moving fast with no control. Plan in your hand, eyes on the way. Patience gets paid when discipline stays. Put the work in. Show that progress, let them see it working. Wrong or right, still learn from the play. Follow the rules, then we move our way. Put the work in. Late nights, early morning, still searching. Win or lose, don't throw it away. Study the move, then come back the next day. Pressure get loud, but the plan stay quiet. Everybody talks, only few really try. You want results, gotta build that range. Can't feel lost if you came here to change. Write it down, mark the reason. Strike the work through every season. If it don't hit, then review that choice. Clean up the noise, then sharpen your voice. Stack good habits like blocks in a wall. 1 week rule can't shake it all. So stay on script when emotions arise. Truth shows up when you analyze. No magic trick, no lucky lane. Just sweat, focus, lesson pain. Then one day they see what you made. Not from guessing, from the work you laid.
Lock in when it's boring. Lock in when it's slow.
Lock in.
Lock in when nobody sees.
That's how progress shows.
Learn from the miss.
Build from the sky. Follow the rules. Raise the bar. Get up. Put the work in. Show that progress, let them see you working. Wrong or right, still learn from the play. Follow the rules, then we move our way. Get up. Put the work in. Late nights, early morning, still searching. Win or lose, don't throw it away. Study the move, then come back the next day. Get up. Lock in. Show work. Learn more. Follow rules. Stay ready. Put the work in.
Good morning. How are y'all doing today on this good morning market? We're gonna see what we can get into. I had a good couple of trades yesterday, and kind of over the weekend a little bit. After my stream on Friday, I got into a trade and actually did pretty well on that one. So I ended up on the week for sure, because I was up. I don't know, it was $75 up or $60 up or something like that. And now I think we're 85 or something like that, you know. So just looking at it, we're going to look at some of the things that the market has done over the week. Last week, kind of take a step back, look at it on a Monday, coming back from a holiday, seeing what we may see the whole market do. We had a run up into futures open, and then as the day went on, or the night went on technically, I guess, we all kind of reverted back, came back down a little bit. Everybody was kind of expecting that. If you look at it, we were kind of a bit overextended. So now the goal of today is to look at, should we keep the up only trajectory, or should we look for a couple of days of retracement or other things like that. Got a few things that Strike's got going on too that we'll look at first before we get into the trading part of it and other things. But there's anybody here, y'all want anything specific, want to ask anything about Strike Finance or anything else on the TA of a couple of things and other things like that, let me know down in the comments. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share it out, all the rest of those things like that. Let's get more people here to check out what Strike can do and see what we can do here. So let's get on over here to the screen. Woo! Alrighty, so let me zoom this in so y'all can see it a little more. All right, so if you come down to the platform, log in, all the rest of that, and you come down to the announcement section, then you can read this announcement they just posted on the 4th of July, essentially, for the SLP Vault loss protection that was already going on. Now they have extended it further. So let's open this up and take a look at what this is going to say here for y'all. All right, so this kind of gives a little explanation of the LP Vault liquidity program that they have going on. So yes, we talked about it, that it makes about 20% APR, but just to remember, this is active liquidity provided into the market maker bot. So you do have downside risk, and that's what they're protecting here. So it kind of goes into it a little more. If you want to know a little more about the actual liquidity, you can tell me, hey, I don't know anything about it down there in the comments. Tell me about it. Or you can come over to the docs at strikefinance.org. And you need to look in the perpetuals portion, vaults, and then it'll be over there for the Strike LP Vault liquidity program. But to talk more about what this program is and less about what the, how that works. The program terms, so it runs from July 1st or July 4th to July 4th of 2027. That's a full year. They're basically insuring $2 million in the vault there. And it's they're over the deposited capital. So right now we're 1.2 million. So you got a little more there. So you have to have 3 months in the vault for you to be able to be considered for their program. So you essentially deposit it as a 90-day deposit. It doesn't lock it for 90 days. But essentially you need to use this as a 90-day lock for you to get this program terms here. So essentially, if you deposit it, whatever your dollar amount you deposit in, if your removal amount at 90 days or further is less than what you put in, they'll match the difference. So they're not going to cover your 20% yield, but they're protecting the downside risk for you providing your liquidity to the market maker bot. So I think that's quite interesting. So if you put in $1,000, no matter what, in 90 days you're going to be able to withdraw $90. If you put in $1,000 and a market maker bot goes freaking crazy, and you can turn out $1,100 or $1,400, then you get to pull $1,400 out if you want to, or pull out $400 and leave the $1,000 in. Those types of things there. So that's basically what they talk about. It goes a lot more into detail, or not that much more into the detail, but it goes into if you read the whole thing, it goes into more detail. So let's get back over to the app. And so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna look at a couple tokens. I've been doing fairly well on Zcash. It's been moving. Bitcoin. Zcash didn't really follow Bitcoin as perfectly yesterday. It kind of did, but when Bitcoin ran, Zcash didn't run. So it was pretty interesting. So we get our trading view up over here so we can get our chart prime indicators here. You got your MVP oscillator, your RSA primed, and then if you got your Alex O down here. And if you want to get into that, you can get into Alex O's Discord, and when you get into Alex O's Discord, then you get his indicator. But I do like it. I do like it on the 3-minute. It definitely lets you know when the market is not going down, and when you think it's going down by the other indicators. It's pretty interesting. All right. So let's see what we can find in the market today. So let's zoom out. 1 hour chart. 1 hour chart zoom out, right? All right. So we're going to look at Bitcoin here. So this, where we went to was a golden pocket retracement from here to here. You take that, take your RSI, Jesus. Good morning. You take your Fibonacci tool, and you go from the top to the bottom, and from the 786, or from the 618 to the 786 is where that box was. So we can delete that to delete some of those lines there. And that's right where we came back to once we had that bullish momentum change there. So we came back to that, but that doesn't mean that the move is over. It can continue, come back from where you came from, which is more up a tad. So, you know, you're looking more up here in 65,000 zone for the full retracement of this, and some of the order blocks that are up here above. So the big part of where we're wanting to get to is back up here in the 67,000 for our macro flip zone to come back over this, which is our basically the bottom where we retested and continued down. We want to flip that into support instead of a resistance zone there up here in the $67,000 zone. But we do have to get past where we're at now. We do need to maybe look at the fact that this could be a top, because this is a one, you know, me get this out here. So we got 1, 2, 3, and then you could come back. We haven't broken, so we haven't broken down our area here yet. So this would be where if we break this, then we would start looking lower. So we need to make sure that our structure doesn't come below this. So trading this morning is going to be fun. We'll have to zoom in and see if we can find anything there, because we could just get right here and pop right back off and keep going. But it does kind of look quite suspiciously just returning down here. Let's see. Okay, so let's pull our fib and we'll make our golden pocket on this retracement here. So we're going to pull our fib from the local low to the current local high, and the 6 to 618 would be right here. Look at that. Look at that. I drew it to it before it was even there. That's like telling me that's where it's going. All right, and look, it's already gold, so I don't even need to change it. So this is the hourly golden pocket. So we'll change this to 1 HRGP. All right, so that's the 1 hour golden pocket this way, right? I do believe that was a couple other things. This was a 1 hour golden pocket to the north. 1, 2, 3 drives back down. Kind of where we could come back down to, because we got a little bullish. Can be like, hey, you got a little overzealous here, guys. So you do need to make sure that we're not going to come back down to that. So we can start looking at some of our indicators. We could try to make our indicators bigger instead of getting rid of them, you know. That's what we were trying to do. So we do have some clipping down here on the MVP oscillator on the 1 hour. it does get a lot higher than what it is, so it's not a lot, but it's something to start paying attention to. Essentially, you are still widening on the band, and you know, we got a little curvature on the RSI. Could that be a bullish divergence? No. We would have to essentially SFP our break of structure line, basically, kind of deal. If we SFP'd that and came back, then that would be really bullish. So that could be like looking for market open to drop, come back, and then run for the like 30 minutes of the market open. Could be. It's a little low, but your trend 7 does have further it can go, because trend 7 stops down here. But it's not looking overly bearish. That's me trying to, I guess, hey, we'll see. This one I'm not even supposed to use on the 1 hour, so I try not to pay attention to that one on the 1 hour. Let's get rid of it while I'm doing more macro. So we could come back down to the 1 hour golden pocket down here at 60,178, or all the way down to 59,112. This is on a blowfin chart. It's where I did a lot of my trading before is on a blowfin. So I just kind of stuck to where I have a lot of my levels, because I don't really want to go back and do all those levels again, because I traded, I don't know, in 2024 on blowfin or whatever it was. So I got a lot of levels to come back to on this chart. But yeah, we could come down a little further, not on the RSI, but on the price. Like if it pops down, the price would come down, and then that would be bullish bearish. Or bullish bearish. I need to wake up this morning. I'm saying a bunch of dumb words. Good morning, good morning. All right, so looking above us, looking below us, it definitely is looking more bearish. Yeah, see, here's the 4 hour. Went out on the 4 hour. Here's your bearish outlook. Bearish divergence, bearish divergence, bearish divergence plays out, brings you back to where you began. Golden pocket down here, 786. You even have, on the 4 hour, you even have a 4 hour order block right here. This would be a bullish as hell order block if you got to this, though. So let's put what this is. There. 4 hour bull order block. All right. So then that even says tap that order block down here at the very bottom of the 1 hour. When you start matching your charts over the top of them. Now that's also being wishful thinking that we could come all the way back down. They could, market could open and something bullish could occur and all kinds of things, and it's woo. So let's start zooming in to what we got going on right now. Down on the 15. Down on the 15, we're essentially down only. Is what we've got going on here. So we can get a trend line going here. So if we want to break bullish, that needs to be broken on the 15-minute chart. We have the MVP oscillator is kind of bottomed. You did flip the ribbon, but your money flow Money flow has just gone bearish on the RSI. This could be bearish divergence. No. Yeah. Because that's higher. It's a high. We're cutting teeth here. No. That's like an equal high. Zooming way in. No. It's down. So that's not. Okay. So you had to zoom like way in. So it could be wrong. That could be us just trying to look for positive there. Although, you know, it could come right out. But when we break out of this, that could be where do we need to look at where we're going to be coming back to if we break out of this? Because this is a pretty big, well, let's see. Is this a down? How much is this down? This is 2% down. So we could have 1.5% back up, you know, if we break out of this. So let's see, where are some, put that out of my waist. All right, is there any 15-minute order block? No. Barely. Yes. Okay, that's there. There's one here too. So we could look for the rejection here. So let's go down to the 5-minute, see what we got going on here. Got a weird ass candle on the 5-minute. Let's get over to the biddy on here. See what biddy is doing here. You always need to look at your exchange chart because it's always going to be a little bit different. Good morning to y'all down there. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, share, watch it. I like the, you know, streaming hours anyway, so you know, more people to come by and just watch it and chill later. Appreciate it. Trying to get over to 1,000 subscribers, so y'all can share it to all your friends to get to 1,000 subscribers to, you know, maybe get a little monetization of, you know, 15 cents or something like that would be nice. That's the first goal there. So trying to get it out to more people. There is definitely a 5-minute order block that it could come back up to here for sure. So this would be a 5-minute order block here. So let's see what it looks like on the 3-minute. Got one right here too on the 3-minute. Right there, just tapped it. Once you understand the order blocks and you can zoom into the chart, you can literally call where the price is going to go. It is very interesting how the order blocks truly work. You have broken back into this first standard deviation of the VWAP, and we are far extended from the VWAP on the 3-minute. So it could come back up to here, to this. There's actually a 3-minute order block basically right at it right here. Right at it. But look at how the price almost immediately rejects. There. That's the power of the order blocks, honestly. Once you understand the way the order blocks work and you zoom way in, they work when you zoom way in. Order blocks more on, you know, like a 4-hour or other things like that. They might be as powerful or whatever, but I haven't really looked at them that much. But look how powerful that was. Like, if you could have just said, okay, I'm zooming all the way into the 3-minute, bam, you could have grabbed some if you have an exchange with a lot of liquidity, and not very much slippage. You could have grabbed that and then got out. You know, if you have an exchange with, you know, 75x leverage or whatever, you could zoom in and bam, you could have, what was that? That's 0.06, 0.06 times 75x leverage. It's 4.5% move. So if you have a good amount of volume on that, you know, that could have been all you needed. Margin, not volume, margin. I don't play those games. That's a nope. So I essentially have gotten to where I put $100 margin, and I'm okay with somewhere between like $6 and $9 as my stop loss. And I typically have been trying to take profit somewhere around $10 to $20, which is 10 to 20%. And I've been able to gather that pretty well on a 20x leverage when I don't try to grab the market when it's going to go just a little bit. I grab a little more kind of deal. Like this, you drew this in here. Look at this one. It tapped that perfectly and then came down. This would have been perfect for me to be able to grab. And then you have the spoon from Alex O that turns that candle green or another color, and look at the reaction. Look at the spoons calling it out, bro. Good job. Bravo. Definitely need to pay attention to that a little more. So you said you have open candle open, and where it got to 0.2. The way he trades on the margin that he trades with, I think 0.33, and he's out completely. That would he would have made a good amount of money there, I'm pretty sure. Let's check him out. Let's see what's going on. Got some good things going on. Let's see. What should I pay attention to? Essentially where I'm already paying attention to. So, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right there. There you go. That one needs to be green. Fill it in. Rejection. Pick it up. Still higher or higher low. That would be bullish. Come back and collect all of this. How much does that move? That's 1%. There you go. There's your trade. Grab that. Stop below. Shit, you could come down here. Was that 0.2? You give up 0.33 for a 1? That's a 3-to-1. No, that's not a 3-to-1. This is a 3-to-1. Okay, so now let's foreshadow. Oh no, that would be that being the bottom, so you don't even have to foreshadow. Okay, so if that does occur, then our golden pocket for this is here. All right. This needs to be gold because it's a golden pocket. Gold. 15 MGP. 15-minute golden pocket. Okay. All right, that makes sense to me. Hopefully that makes sense to y'all. So you could target all the way to there. Now, let's see. There's all of those that it would have to get through. Because we still haven't had the bullish divergence. So it would be nice to have it come down, flip it, come back up. So you wouldn't want to just take it when it taps it. But it could. That could just be a tapsy and then go. But this is kind of the trade I guess I could be looking for. But also knowing that we're looking at this in a downtrend, we would want it to break this somewhere over here. So that would be, you know, market open. No, we're on, yeah, 15 minute. We got, I think that's somewhere over here. There is that order block completely taken now, not just wicked that time. If it wicks away again, then that basically is gone there. All right, let's see if we can't find something. We're already at 6:30. Nothing going up. That wasn't a rejection one there, so that one is gone. Clearing liquidity, create an order block down here below us. And it's green because if it comes back to it, it could bounce on it because it's below. And bounce means like the next candle could come down, wick to it, and then it go. All right, let's see what's going on. Let's look at ADA so I can show y'all some of the stuff that I was looking at on my baby. So if we want to get real bullish, because you know I like doing that. I like getting real bullish. Let's show you this. All right, so you know we ran up. Hell of a run, guys. Hell of a run. Talk a bunch of shit, all the rest of that you want to, but when my baby runs, it runs. Alex so like Soul. I like ADA. It is what it is. I think ADA, when it runs, outruns all of them. Absolutely all of them. I don't know about Zcast. Zcast ran pretty damn hard, bro. Like, just to be completely honest there. But all right, so from our last tap to our last top, this is the golden pocket we were looking for when we were looking for our short yesterday. I was just a dummy and couldn't pull the trigger. That was my bias. That's why I try not to perpetual trade Cardano, because I have too much of a bias on it. So you know, whatever. I did actually short it up here once it hit this 15-minute golden pocket. I did short it. I just didn't have the balls to stay in it. So that's another reason why I don't trade it that much. But I did win, you know, positive money in the account is positive money in the account. So, you know, that's what matters there. So if we just get a bullish momentum of the day and everything, we could come out of this. Honestly, I kind of foreshadow us to come to this order block that's down here at the very bottom of it and kind of SFP the 786, get that order block here, and then maybe want to come back up, because, you know, that would be continuing the up, right? Because we flipped our zone over here. We flipped it. We're bullish now, right? If you look at our the bottom area here where we had our volume area high, POC, volume area low, where we came below that area there, and then came back. We have now exited that zone. We were positively retested it. Now it is support, not resistance, because we went through and it came back down. This time we actually came off of it and went. This time you did not. You kind of went and then came right through it. This one was a much more aggressive go, from 17 to 20. So coming back to the golden pocket here makes sense to continue on. Our continue on is the 1 hour golden pocket that's up here at 22.5 cents. How far is 22.5 cents from here, you ask? Oh, just a 22% run. So if we get back to that, that will be another awesome week or day. That's the crazy stuff about how this could truly work here. Or they could all say F off and we come back down here to the 15-minute golden pocket down here at 16 cents. And then if we're going to come here, we might as well come back down to the bottom there. That's down here at like 14.8. And then you might as well hit the bottom of the volume area zone at 15.5 at that point to just wick off of it and go. But guess what? Even if it did all of that, that would still not be a lower low, and that would be a higher low, and then still another higher low. So there is your bullish mindset there. So let's get off of ADA because I don't really like to trade ADA. And let's look at maybe let's look at hype. Okay, so let's look and see what hype did. Damn, Daniel, look at that response on the 15-minute chart to my 1 hour golden pocket. Bam, ran. But that was where we were trading yesterday, where if we were going to break this, that's my break of structure. If we broke that, which we did, we were going to come down to the golden pocket, which we did. I didn't keep that trade, but I did win that trade a little bit, but I would have made hell of a lot more money if I would have just left the damn thing in there to what I was talking about. Now we're coming back up to where the break of structure occurred and trying to get out of that. That was an order block that it created here. So we have basically came back and tested that order block as a bearish order block that needs to be read. There's your bearish order block. So you could come back down some. Yeah, everything is kind of saying here. Let's see, where are our indicators here? Let's bring our indicators back up. Yeah, that's bearish. That's bearish there. You do have a flip of the ribbon, but that doesn't mean that ribbon can't just come flip right back down just like it did here. You know, it went up and came right back down. All right, let's see. Zooming in on the 5-minute. This would continue it down. This is just stair stepping down. This was just a larger break. No bearish bullish there. It was just the tap. We've rejected. Let's go down on the 3-minute. Blue dot. Top of the trend 7. Man, they called that. Into the order block and everything. That was the short. We're a little late getting into the short if we wanted to get into it. Now we can zoom real in and see if we can grab it here. It could come back for this right here on us. Let's see. Let's see if this is in. Let's see if this is in here. So we're on hype. Go look at hype. See the short I was in here, or like break this structure. Down we go. Never came back up to it. Got close. Never came back to that one. So we don't have a 3-minute chart that I have on here. So let's zoom way in. There is an order block even on the 5-minute right at the top. So it could come back up to that, but it definitely looking like it just wants to roll over right now. So let's look. Okay. We have a long ways that we can come down. Let's do it. All right, we're short hype. All right, so let's do this. We're short hype from here. Okay, so and that's half. Yeah, come back up this. So if we want a scalpy, no, we would come back up to this one. So what is that at? That's at 70 point. Damn, let's get rid of this. This is too big. There we go. That's a little better. So that's yeah, 70.93 there. All right. I think it's kind of ironic to use strike to short hype. They are kind of the same thing. Strike's tokenomics far exceeds what hype's tokenomics are, though. So we'll say that. Now they have you know, the use. So you know, come on over, bring your liquidity, and make this place the most awesome place to trade. And then you could own some of the strike token. You just got to come buy it on Cardano, but that's not that hard. Maybe you should actually come try the damn chain out and grab one of your wallets. DeFi wallet, man, it works on all the chains and Cardano. So you can just change that to be your wallet, really and truly. DeFi works pretty well as a cross-chain wallet. I have it Bitcoin. I've used on Ethereum and Cardano in one wallet, so that's kind of cool. I am thinking about getting a Phantom wallet so that I can show the Solana users how to use their Phantom wallet to supply liquidity into Strike, because you can supply your liquidity into Strike from your Solana wallet and earn the yield from the vaults. So the vaults was the SLP that we were talking about. Well, since we've already gotten to a trade and everything, we'll let the trade trade over here, and we'll talk a little more about what you can do on the on Strike here. So the Strike liquidity pool, which is what the market maker uses right now, has 1.145 million TVL in it. 154 of it is mine. I've profited, total P&L right now is at 8.66. This changes. This is not a static figure. This 103% is not a static figure. It does change over time. As you can see, the TVL is here, so the P&L has gone like this. Like, it did win a lot. This was when the market was going down and everybody was bullish. And now the market did turn around a little bit, so they got to take some back from the market maker bot there. Obviously, it's still winning as it's giving some of it back to the people that were, you know, lucky enough to get in. But the more people trading, the more liquidity provided, the better slippage, the better entries, and everything there that brings the more people to want to trade, which is how the Strike token then earns more fees. As you can see, when you put your money in here, You have 17 different positions that this bot is running. You can see the orders just a flow in here. Let's see, come down here so you can see these orders flowing. See how much that it is opening and closing positions, how much is moving around. This is not a static bot. So that's something to think about when you're thinking about doing your research on inputting funds. You see how we came down, but now we're basically right back at where we started here. We could go down, could go up. That's kind of how the market runs. But that's where their essential insurance, I guess, covers your downside loss. So it's downside protection to your own funding to fund the market maker bot. I think that is beautiful, and they'll let that run for an entire year. So you could put your money in and let it run. You could make, you know, your 18 to 20% that it's on average will make over time. Or you could get back everything that you put in, so you have almost no downside risk. Now, if you come in and put $1 million in, that would put you about $100,000 over that 2 million mark where they cut off their program. But you know, if you come in and put $10,000 in, you can say that in a year, no matter what, you will have $10,000. You know, that's not a very good investment thing, but if you want to think about how you got rid of the downside risk of providing liquidity to a market maker bot, that's pretty perfect to me. That's just my part. I do trade, so here, let's look at my portfolio here. So it's a cool thing that it's got here, so it can show you your entire portfolio. I'm going to talk to the dev and everything and tell him that in our recent activity up here, it should tell us if we won or lost. You know, if we're positive, negative in this recent activity. So, you know, if you're listening, cool. Let me know. So let's see, here's P&L. P&L has been up. Yes, we've down. We've lost some, but we're still up. Not the most we've been up, but on the trading, we've been up, I guess, a little bit more. $94 was the most, right? 95. That was right before. Thought I've been up more than that. Maybe this is mixing my vault in here too. It shouldn't be, because there's, yeah, it must be mixing my vault in here. Here, let's see. Refreshy. There you go. I am not very bearish. Oh, I am currently very bearish. Yes. Because I'm only in one position that is bearish. Because the market's going down currently. We'll see how that works. So, oh, okay, so that's cool. So it's showing you how much of your account you're currently using and everything. But my all-time P&L is 93 right now. With I've traded 180,000 volume. So your P&L moves while you're in the trade, just so you know. Man, I don't know. That looks like a pretty good trade right here. This is some liquidity. If you go back and you look at it here. So this is liquidity that it was producing as it did its drive. Now it didn't really give it its third drive. This is only 1, 2. So we could have been a little early. The third drive could be the VWAP. So maybe I just called it on what it's going to do. Who knows? That's why you put a stop loss. So, you know, talking about that, maybe I should probably put my stop loss on the chart here. Sorry about that. We have people trying to leave the house right now. It's where the house is moving around. So like I said, let's go back here. So we could be coming back up to this order block that is right here. So we want to set our stop loss above it. So 79.6. And that is a stop loss of $70.96. So it gives us about an $8 stop loss. $8 stop loss, and we're looking for nope. All right, so take a couple of these things off here. Control Z, Control Z. God bless America. Stop that. All right, so now we're looking there. So if this stays as the high, where are we looking for the golden pocket to be at? Here. So from here to here, our golden pocket that we were looking for the retracement is from here at 70.18 to 69.94. All right, we'll change that to gold because that's a golden pocket on the 3-minute. 3MGP. All right, that's our target. Our target is here. So that's our trade today. That's what we're in here. Thank y'all for coming by. Thank y'all for saying hi down in the chat down there. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. The link down there for the referral code and everything using Strike Zone to get into Strike Finance to do these perpetual trades, to provide some of the liquidity to the vault and other things there. You can even create your own liquidity bot for other people to provide funds to. So that's a little interesting one for us to look at. Let's look at that real quick. So vaults, I've always shown you the Strike liquidity vault. But then you have other ones. You have Glacier Arc that's doing whatever it's doing. You have the Strike Vision one that's over here. You know, it's pretty interesting. So let's look at this. So it's TVL that it's done, and it's P&L. It got back positive. You know, it was up positive on July 4th when we were going up north. It was pretty crazy on how much it was up from, because it's a long position essentially. Essentially, all this does is long. So while the market was going down, it was losing its ass off. But if they keep these positions as long positions, that might be a quite an interesting thing to throw in a couple of $1,000s into this when you know the market is going to go for a run for a couple of days. And then you have to plan the out. So because it takes 24 hours for the funds to come out, and you don't get your price until the funds come out. So you have to think about that, but it's something that maybe provides you a cool way to play the market on something like this, because essentially it gives you a cross leverage on 3 different tokens here. So that's the way you could look at it. Is you could be the person that created this, that allowed the other depositors to deposit to this. There's only 6 people that's deposited funds to this, but you know, hey, people can do that, and then you can earn a fee off of that. I don't know if this one, I think this one has a fee. Let's see. Yeah, they have a 10% fee here. So that's something to look at there. There's a 0% fee on Strikes ones. There's 25% fee on Glacier Arc, or whatever it was. Sorry. There. See where it says create vault. You create your vault, do your steps, and get it in there. See what's going to happen there. All right, so we'll see if it wants to go down. It definitely feels like it wants to go down. It already started to kind of clip a little bit down here, but I feel like it wants to come up, hit this order block here on the 3-minute, and then come back down. you know, we were just a little early getting in, or kind of deal how it has to work. So no crazy leverage. We're on 20x leverage. That's the max they give us over here on Strike on all your altcoins. You get 40x leverage on Bitcoin. The more liquidity that people can provide, the more leverage we're able to provide as well on the larger traded tokens. So like Bitcoin, we may get more. Once we get to 2-3 million, we probably can get up to, you know, 75x leverage or something like that. If you want to. I would not suggest that. The ones I see, these people with like 120x leverage, y'all people are crazy. But all right, so now we're coming up 4 minutes to the end of my stream here. Let's go ahead and set our take profits. So let's see, where do we want to set our take profits? So we have 70 at 1.8, 70.18. So we'll take 50% out at 70.18. And then we'll take another 75% out at 69.67. 69.67. All right. And that basically we can leave as a runner. And take it all out at the 786. Yeah, 69. Let's just be 69. All right. There's our 3 take profits that we have set. We have our stop loss set here at $70.96. First take profit is at $70.17.5. Third take profit is at $69.67, and our second take profit is at $69.67, and the third take profit is at 69 even. We have broken down. Let's see if it's going to come down and hit one of those, but we're going to have to get off stream here, so I'll come back over. We'll have to come back tomorrow and see how this trade went, guys. So let's jump on over here into the studio. I appreciate y'all for coming by. I do still have to do a in real life job. So I do have to get ready to go to work to get out there and market the ambulance game. So if you know, you know, get into Strike Finance, get into Infinity Rising. World Mobile is great. If you want World Mobile and you're in the US and you want to look and see how you can get a more secure cell phone service, you can look at Ace Cellular. That is my company. We are a distributor of the World Mobile phone service. So if you are in the US and you want a better, more secure phone service to use the link down in the description. Get in there and get your service. If you want to try it out, you can try it out. Most phones have 2 eSIM slots, so you can get one of your eSIM slot. You can switch it over. You don't have to change your phone number over. You can see if it's going to work well for you and everything there. And then if it does, then then you can cancel your own line, and then the next month you just cancel that 1 month that you had, and then you can just port your number over. I'm sorry, I have to go back to this real quick. The damn thing went. I'm sitting here looking at it on the screen while I'm trying to talk to you about it. We already hit one of our first take profits. We're up 20% on it. We're gonna move our stop loss down. We're in profit for the trade. Hey, look at that. All right, so Alex, I was about to start. I gotta send you over the hymn. Y'all have a great day. I'm gonna send you out with commercial number 1.
Ever feel like everything you do is being watched? Don't let the big 3 creep on you anymore. Switch to Ace Cellular with plans